Yeah. So the question, the Q&A. If you click on the left-hand side of your screen, there should be a Q&A button, so you should be able to see all the questions as they
Oh,
come
yeah.
in.
I see it, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, no, I do.
Huh? What'd you say? Hold on. I'm gonna. Sorry, 1 second. Now that we're live, this is being recorded.
No, I'm not. Oh, internet. Lack of.
Can you tell people? Where's the link? Is right here. No, link is right here. No, this is. So here, hold this. Send me that link really quick. Copy and paste it into my messages, just so I can make sure it works.
Oh, I hear people.
Are there viewers at the bottom? Is it adding?
Oh, wait, just kidding.
The same viewers number 2, 3?
0.
Zero? Okay,
Yeah.
send it to me right now on Facebook.
Huh?
Where?
Like the captains.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to ask the captains to let us know when they're on, like comment on the post?
Yeah, I'm gonna have each team captain comment with what team they're from and if they can hear us properly. That way, there's all connections there.
Oh, that's great.
I'm just gonna post it.
Did it say viewer number 1?
I've
Good question.
Yeah, you're there.
Awesome! It works.
yeah, it does.
Alright, so as people come in, they'll, whatever it is. So they can just click on the link and click the play button. Tell them that.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And for them to ask questions, you have to click on the nine box.
Yeah, are you letting them know or should I?
Oh, they can hear us. Oh, hi, Louise. Hi, Sheena. We can hear you. 1 second. I'll make another post.
We can't do a person.
To ask.
So we had 5 viewers.
For everyone who's online right now, please just comment with your team name and that you can hear us, please. I'm gonna send it to all the team's captains anyway. See.
Facebook it to them?
I Facebooked it to everyone.
Do you have an email contact for all of them?
Yeah.
But do you have them together as one?
You need me to text any of them?
Yes, please. Jalka's here. Perfect. Okay.
NASA's not showing up, right?
No NASA today, but they should be sending me their questions to be asked or to be answered. So.
Do you want me to send it?
Sorry. Oh, hold on. Say that again.
Do you want me to contact them to send it?
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
the chat.
Do you have your laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I run over, can you just let them know I'll be like 11:15? If anything, you guys should all review your critiques.
The chat button.
I'm just
How do you
reading
activate it? Sometimes can't find it.
It's the little
Okay, thanks.
9 boxes right here. You click it, and then Q&A.
Mm. Yep. Because I don't have that on my screen.
Here, wait. I can just get it on my phone. I can get it on my phone if you can get it. Almost faster. Got it. So far, we only have we have 3 teams now. So NSU, the leader of that. I'll text.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay, so we're waiting on UConn and USC, I believe. Two.
sorry.
They're here. There's here. Shara's, I believe Shara is not coming either. But possibly. And then 1, 2.
Yara's not coming. Yeah.
They were not available, but they might be coming in last minute. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. UConn's here. Yay. Okay.
Moksha?
We're waiting on them right now.
No, they have it. They're here.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Is this everyone?
Let's see. No problem. Finish. Wait, who are we waiting on then?
Tanvi,
1 sec. USC is here. Perfect.
Shubha, Oka, ATL Danish. That's 5 teams.
5 teams, 6, 7. Oh, we're waiting on a few more then. Hold on.
1, 2.
Let me see.
Oh no, US, it's not 5, it's 6.
Okay, perfect. And then Shara said they couldn't make this meeting, so we'll just get started then.
Are they sending questions also?
They're supposed to email me the questions if they have any.
Okay, let me call them real quick.
So 1 team, 2 team, 3 team, 4 team, 5, and 6.
6 teams
So
here.
then you're missing
It's just,
Shara
that's
and
it.
No Vanessa.
No, Vanessa's not coming.
Yeah, those 2.
Yeah.
Okay, get started.
Okay, we'll get started shortly.
We're trying to Shara right now. It's in there.
Okay.
But yeah. Hey, Super. Hey,
Marie is here. No, that looked really bad. Okay.
yeah, no problem. Are we ready?
Yep, we should be. So you heard from Shara?
Yes. I have to call the other captain, but you guys go ahead.
Yeah, so we're gonna get started. So my name is Mira Patni, and I'm one of the directors for Dance Ke Deewane. On the phone right now is Ambika Ratre. She is another director.
Hi.
And then here we have Shyamali Mahore, and she's on the registration committee. So right now we have our 3 judges online right now. We've got Adit and Sanjana and Sushant. So I'm gonna have the 3 of you just give a short little introduction about yourselves. Okay, Adit, you can start, I guess.
I'm Adit. I'm from California. I'm captain of Calbunga, danced on Nachistisho King Gabru, and I did a lot of fusion stuff in Dance Near Dance, and I finished in the top 10 there. So yeah, me.
Nice. Hi, I'm Sanjana. I'm from New York, but I'm going to school in Philly at Drexel. I've been a member of Drexel Jollock for my first 3 years, and then I danced with Illuminati last year, which is the national team, and I've been lucky to have judging opportunities since, so excited to really hear your questions.
And my name is Sushant. I'm in medical school now, but I was involved with Michigan ISA back in undergrad. and I'm really excited to see you guys perform.
Okay. So what we'll do is each team is going to ask 2 questions on the chat, and then we'll have Shamli repeat those questions so that everyone can hear them, and then we'll have Adit, Sanjana, and Sushant answer each question. Okay. So ATL, Shraddha, you can ask your first question on the chat. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Greenberg. No. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Shraddha from ATL. You can ask your question right now, and I also tagged you on Facebook so you were aware that it is your turn right now. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Where's the question, Mira?
Let's see. Okay, she just posted right now. If you are stuck between 2 teams in your decision, what will make you choose one team over the other?
Me first, or?
Yeah, we'll go you first.
I guess for me it would be which team. I mean, obviously in general, just execution, which one like stood out the most to me. But like in specifics, it would be which team did the most uh, did the most fusion in terms of like who did the most like non-normal thing. Like I'm not looking for just regular Bollywood who does that the best. I'm looking for like who did hip hop where you wouldn't expect hip hop, Bharatanatyam where you wouldn't expect Bharatanatyam, that kind of thing. Um, and just like actually trying to fuse different things together. So that would be me. So whichever team did the best in that sense.
Obviously, there is a rubric, and I'm sure we'll be sticking to that. So hopefully, if the numbers fall this way and we are comparing 2 teams, I think I second what Adit said. And one thing that I would look for is innovation. What sets you apart from the rest of your competitors? What is going to tip the scales in your favor and make a difference? Like how do you what makes you better than the other team in a sense? So that's what he touched on. And also, I think performance value. So you might have the best execution and stuff, but for me, the things that make you stand out as a performer and not just a dancer, that'll really shift my decision.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much just echo what the other two said. It comes down to which performance is more memorable. Whoever takes like the good balance between risks but doesn't give up execution. So, I mean, the circuit's been around for so long now, so we've seen some of the same stuff over and over again. So, we bring something new, something exciting. It'll definitely help you out a lot compared to other teams.
Okay. So ATL, you can post your second question. Okay. And for all the other teams, just make sure you all have your questions ready so we can just, that way there's no lag. Okay. All right, so here it is. So I guess this one is for us. Ambika, can we explain the exact format of the dance battle? How are the points awarded? And will we know the genre slash mix beforehand? How many people can dance at a time?
Okay. Where is it? Okay, so for the dance battle, what we're planning on doing is giving you guys the mix beforehand because we talked it over with BA and they prefer that, so we want to go with BA's rules. We're thinking of giving you guys a 30-second mix made by us beforehand, and then you guys will dance on stage, so no genre, if that answers the question. And then, how are the points awarded? Will we know the genre? Oh, where'd it go? Okay. Don't worry. Where's the question? Oh, okay, sorry. How many people can dance at a time? So if do they have the rubric? Mira.
Oh, sorry about that. So in the group round, you can bring up to a minimum of 4 people on stage for the group round. That's worth 4 points. And then for, I guess not necessarily a group round, but you can also bring out soloists at any point in the time where you feel it's necessary or you would like to showcase a soloist talent. And then you can also, so again, just a minimum of 4 dancers must be on stage to qualify as bringing out a group.
And then, do they have the rubrics, Mira, for the?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, on the rubric, I think everything is set on the rubric. If you want me to go over it real quick, it says for the group, they come on and execute it, and then execution of choreography. So that's 4 points. And then for a solo, if a soloist performs on stage, you'll get a point. And then the execution, like, was it like really creative? And
Oh, it froze. Okay. Sorry, it froze.
cool. Am I good now?
Yeah, you're fine now.
Okay. And then the overall impression, X factor, creativity, skill, and energy of the dance-off will be another 4 points. So,
Okay.
does that answer everything?
We're good. Okay, so Gator, you're next. Just go ahead and post both your questions on the chat, and then we'll just move on from there.
ATL had a follow-up, though.
Oh, just kidding. Sorry about that. To clarify, as for the points, what does it mean by judge's discretion? To be honest, what that means is what each judge sees it as when you present it. It's off to the judges on what they feel is creative, what they feel has a level of an X factor or skill or energy. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, that'll solely be up to what the judges feel when you come on and perform in the dance battle. Okay. That should be it. Okay, so Gator, you can go ahead and post your 2 questions. Okay, so the very first question, what are your personal considerations on what X factor means?
Honestly, for me, X Factor is just like is a lot to do with standout and memorability. So like if you go first in the lineup, um, I guess like the best way for me to describe it is like if I don't remember you at the end, you probably didn't do anything X Factor worthy. Um, usually it's kind of the same thing as what I said in the beginning. Again, it's like it's things I wouldn't expect, and it's like Shushan said, it's like things that haven't been done in the circuit before. It's just a lot of like something to be like that catches me off guard. Like if I'm like writing down notes and I'm just like writing it monotonously, like there's nothing special. But if like it like makes me like look back, like, oh damn, that was really cool. It'd be something like that, just something that catches me off guard.
I second that. Coming from a girls' team, to be honest, I think a lot of people will consider X Factors to be stunts. I don't think that's necessarily the case. So if you don't have stunts, don't worry. Something that is really like eye-catching. What is going to compel me within like the night, like the first minute or so, to keep watching the rest of your routine? So like Adit said, I don't want to just write notes. I still remember certain teams' very memorable beginnings, some very memorable endings, you know, maybe even a segment, a song that you use. It's where, you know, you try to capture your audience's interest by whatever means possible. And, you know, that includes us as well. So if you have me on the edge of your seat at any one point, or I'm like, my mouth is open and I'm just shocked, then you've done a good job in terms of X Factor.
Sushan? Is he frozen too, guys?
I think he's frozen.
Oh no. Oh.
You wanna send Sushant the link again?
Okay. I'll just send that to him.
Oh, just to follow up, if any of the teams that watch like ABDs here, or not ABDs here or whatever, essentially when like IME, the crew came on, like they just did like completely different things than the rest of the crews. Like that's would be X Factor for me. Something just like some completely different. Versus like all the crews are very good dancers, and then IME did all that crazy shape stuff. Like things like that.
Okay. 1 second, let's let him join back again, and then we'll get started again.
Yeah, do you want to go ahead with the second question, and then when Sushant gets
Yeah.
we can-
We'll just have him answer the questions afterwards, I guess. So their next question is, to what extent does theme influence the judging process? Each judge personally.
So, oh, is he back or?
Oh wait, hi Sushan. Is he there? Oh, there's two of them.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. Okay, did you guys hear my answer? I don't know if
No, it got cut off for that part.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, to echo what the other two said. A lot of times teams always get hung up on stunts. Like, don't just throw stunts in.
It's frozen again.
That's it. Just don't throw stunts. That's it.
Essentially. Okay. Wait, he's back. No. Okay, let's see.
If Sushant's Wi-Fi keeps on doing this, do you want to just have him type out the answers and then like Facebook message it to one of us or something, and then we read it out loud?
That could work.
Case scenario.
I want to say he's saying something like, don't just do stunts for stunts' sake.
You can,
Yeah.
a plot twist.
Oh man.
Or is there any way like we could call him and then put him on speakerphone? I don't know if it will go through well because like I don't know.
I think Facebook is probably the best way.
Facebook? Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's have that. Let's have him go just Facebook the answers while Adit and Sanjana are talking, and then we read them out loud after Sanjana's done.
Okay. 1 sec. Here.
Yeah. Okay, Mia. So while you're messaging Sushant, are you messaging him?
Yeah.
Okay. While you're messaging him, let's move on to the second question. And
Okay,
then
that works.
this is save time.
Okay, to repeat, the question was, to what extent does theme influence the judging process for each judge personally?
So I mean, there are specific points for themes, so there's that. But then in addition to that, for me, it'd be like how it's more like an icing on top kind of thing. Like if you can incorporate like choreo and mix a lot into like your theme, that's just something that really is really cool for me. The example I'm thinking of is I think it was Broad Street Botchas some while ago. They did like a Superman theme, and they had like Superman songs, and they also had it switch into Lal Dupatta or whatever when they brought out the capes, which I thought was just really funny, and that stuck out. That's like still sticks in my mind, and I don't even remember the rest of the set. So like things like that, I guess, is if you can incorporate the theme into like the music choice and then also choreo, that would be really cool. In addition to also story is also something that everyone does, and it's nice. So like don't stop doing that, but if you add things on in terms of mix and choreo, that'd be really cool.
So I should note, Jollik as a team, I was on it for 3 years, and before the last year, which is our first storyline year, it was mostly themes, and I really enjoyed that kind of performance because it still provides some sort of like cohesive, uh, it brings the routine together. So it's not just like a mix of songs and different styles. It really ties everything together. So that's what I'm looking for in a theme is, it's not just your song choice and just what you're wearing and just like, maybe a style that you're representing. It's how does that encapsulate this whole performance that you're trying to put together? Because that's what fusion is about, right? So like Adit said, whether you're tying in through song choice and things like that, I want to see that everything kind of fits together and is tied nicely with like a package. So you don't necessarily need a storyline to do that in terms of what is the beginning, what is the climax, what is the resolution or something like that. So however you can represent what you're trying to do so, that's where your theme comes in.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much echo what the other two said again. Yeah, the theme doesn't have to be like a complex story thought out. It can literally just be an idea. If you have like literally like a theme, like there's a difference between a theme and a story. If you do a theme, it can just be an idea, and you can do different songs to represent. Like it's a lot of what teams at World of Dance do. They like a lot of them do themes, but then you can also do a storyline. If you do a storyline, try not to make it like yeah, we understand there's only so much you can do, but you don't have to make it super predictable or the classic ending. You can put your own little twist on it. So you can take it a bunch of different
And Sushant, did you want to answer that first question again?
ways. Which one was that? Was that
The X Factor one?
X
Yeah.
X Factor? Yeah, pretty much. Just don't. It's not just stunts. It's like the little things, especially like as judges, like we pick up on the little stuff. Like if you do like a really cool formation that we've never seen, or like you do a song that really fits the story in like a very appropriate time that like people haven't done before, or unique choreo that we haven't seen. It's not just like throw in a basket toss in every other song at the climax, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can I add to that?
Yeah.
Michigan is I don't know if it was this past year or the year before. It was Fall Together, Fly Together, and they break out into this instrumental. What song was it, Sushant? Help me out.
Oh, don't tell him.
Yes, and it's just beautiful. It was like heart-stopping. Like that came on, and I was just like, "This is incredible," right? So something that's like an X factor, and also it was a nice tie-in with the theme, to be honest. So.
There we go.
Okay. Okay. So Chapel Hill Chalka, go ahead and post your 2 questions. And then USC Moksha, go ahead and post your questions also.
Okay. So Chalka's first question is, are you looking for a fusion style of dance forms or the authenticated form? For example, if we mix together hip hop and classical, would we be docked points for not doing fully traditional classical, or will we get points for being creative?
Um, you would, in my book, you would definitely get points for being creative. That being said, if you do stick with traditional, I'm not gonna dock you points for that. Um, I mean, yeah, I've said it so far. Like, I really like when you fuse like styles and things together. So if you did that, that would be super cool for me, and you would definitely get points for creativity.
Okay, I might differ a little bit on this one. I think for me, quality beats quantity. So as a classical dancer myself and having studied a bunch of different styles, I think that there are things that are essential to these dance forms that should not be lost when you are trying to mix and match. So I would not underscore you for being creative and trying to put those two styles together, say like hip hop and classical, but I will critique based on, are you performing classical and maintaining those elements that are essential. So for Bharatanatyam, things that are important, like keeping your elbows up, sitting unless it's semi-classical. So I think I'll uh, I'll look at it. It's a balance, So you have to be authentic to some extent, but you're not doing that style in itself, right? If you're fusing them, you should be able to bring out important elements in both while not losing, the essence of what makes those styles what they are.
Yeah, pretty much like the last sentence of Sanjana just said. You can feel free to combine whatever, but you still have to keep the two styles like distinctly there. Like if you do like Bhangra choreo to Tum Hi Ho, that doesn't really add up. But if you like somehow fused it really well together, sure that could work. But you have to be careful, and you still want to keep each aspect of both styles if you're going to fuse them together well.
Oh, I'm not seeing the second question.
Okay. Second question is, which dance style will you grade more critically for, and which one is your forte?
Could you ask the other team to Oh, sure.
Um, my styles are main two styles are hip hop and Bhangra. Because I'm captain of the Bhangra team, and hip hop is like essentially what I've been doing all my life. Um, that being said, so I know the most about those. I do know about other styles too, so I'm gonna grade all of them as critically as I am capable of doing. So I guess the forte part was a good question because those two are the ones I'm best at. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna like just give points for nothing on the other ones.
Yeah, I think looking at this panel and having read about these guys too, I think we have a diverse background. Mine is particularly I've studied classical for years and years, but having been on a fusion team myself, I've like to say that I've been able to learn those nuances that make other styles important. So I will be looking for proper leg heights and Bhangra and things like that, but I want to say I will be looking at each style equally critically. But I may be more equipped to notice things in classical, just given that that is one of my fortes.
Yeah, I think it's cool because like each judge brings a different background to this competition, and for me, um, I did a lot of Bollywood and a lot of Bhangra. So Bhangra, you want to make sure your ups are high, your downs are down, and they're on beat. You want to make sure the hands are at the right length, that everyone's doing the same thing with their hands. Especially moving formations, you don't want your hands just flopping in the wind. For Bollywood, if you're going to do a lot of extension moves, you got to make sure you lock your elbows and hit the angles. Those are pretty much two of my styles that I look at the most. If you're going to do contemporary, make sure you tuck in your leg when you spin. Make sure you like point the toes. So like, there's a lot of technical things that we all will look at. So try to reinforce those when you guys practice.
Okay. Now, right before we get to Moksha's question, UTD Sharar, you can go ahead and post your questions now. Okay. Shamali?
Great. So Moksha's first question is, do you have any suggestions to prepare a mostly new team slash first-time performers for competition and performing, and then especially some advice for captains in preparing these teams?
Like mentally, like it's honestly just gonna be like the time of your lives. If you guys haven't performed like competed before, competitions are so much fun. Like there's just it's a huge party with organized dance, and you're going for a goal, I guess. But that would be mentally. Like just don't stress out. Like if you're a new team, like you're the dark horse. Like if you come out amazing, come out amazing. If you didn't, you still had a great time. Um, in terms of technical wise, like I'm sure you guys are practicing hard. Like I don't really. That depends on really per team what you do. I'd say don't overwork yourselves. You're just gonna start hating your set, and you don't want that. You want to have fun. At the same time, put as much effort as you guys seem needed. Like I mean, I don't know, the way I run my team is like I always want before a comp, I always want a week and a half of like straight run throughs. Like we should be done a week and a half before. If you're gonna be closer to that, you're gonna start stressing out a little bit, and that's just a mental thing. But yeah, I think I answered that question.
So he brought up a bunch of good points. In terms of rehearsing before the competition, don't overwork yourself. Like, you don't want to be going too hard on Friday night, the day before the competition. Like, you're just going to be tired. When you have tech time on Saturdays, what I found is sometimes your tech time is really, really bad, but then your performance ends up being great. So don't sweat it too much if, things go wrong during tech. Like, that's what that's for, right? It's kind of like your practice performance. In terms of just being a new team overall, before you come to your first competition, I would just make sure you're seeking out all the opportunities to perform that you can. So, even if it's not a competition, if it's just like a showcase, you should be comfortable being on stage and really giving your all. So, there's a difference between doing a run through during practice and when you're on a stage and there are people watching you. So, you don't want to freeze up. So make sure you're really comfortable with performing. And then, like he said, there's so much going on, and it's really, really exciting to be on that stage. You feel the crowd's energy. It hits you when you're in your costume and you're performing. Listen to the music, because a lot of times it's going to be way slower than you have ever heard in practice. So those are, I think, are my tips for new teams if you're new to performing, and captains, like, you can help guide your teams accordingly based on these guidelines.
Yeah, I think you guys both really hit it. Try not to add anything new like the last couple of days. Like even if it's like a small thing, like you'd be surprised of when like you're on stage and like you have a small mental lapse, and it's honestly probably not even worth it to change something last minute. Other stuff, stick to what you guys do best. Like you don't have to have like 4 different styles in your routine if you're not comfortable with it. If you're comfortable with like 2 different styles and you do it really well, then they'll be fine. Like you can like look into Shad BA. They have their style, they crushed it, and then they ended up winning it. So pick what you do best and go with it. You don't have to have a little bit of everything, and then it doesn't come all together. So
I feel bad. I feel like he's reiterating a lot of what we say, but Shad, you're welcome to answer first if you want for the next one.
I can go first next time.
Yeah, we'll have you go first now.
All right. Okay, so Moksha's second question is there anything that teams do that turns you off or that you think hurts the team? Basically, what do you not want to see on the stage?
Huh.
We stumped him now.
That I don't want to see on stage? Wow. That's a pretty interesting question. I mean, it doesn't it's like a couple things that bother me is when like technique isn't right, because you kind of just like, oh, I just want to like be there and like fix it. But I mean, for me, I guess it's technique. Like if you're not, I don't know, if you're not hitting your angles, if you're not doing downs or ups properly, it's kind of like the dance kind of loses its flow, because then like you get like your eyes just like naturally like look at that instead of like trying to look at back at the bigger picture. So I guess for me it's technique.
Oh, Sanjana, do you want to go or?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I was like thinking too.
Yeah.
I want to see that people are really enjoying the dance. So sometimes, and I think we're probably all too familiar with this. When you're smiling and your smile just becomes really fixed, it's kind of scary. You know, like people say you're supposed to have really, really big smiles on stage so you can see from really far away. But you can tell when you're smiling naturally because you're really, really enjoying it versus smiling to have some sort of expression on your face. So that's kind of, distracting, if anything. In terms of visual distractions, if you have a costume malfunction, how you play it off, you could get like props for that, right? Because I've been privy to that, and I'm sure a bunch of you guys probably have too. So if something happens, just keep going, power through, make it work. If you have that resolve, that shows like what kind of a performer that you are. Same thing if you blink and you forget a step or you turn the wrong way. Like as long as you keep going or you play it off, like the less you can visually interrupt the routine, the better. And uh, again, technique. I can't stress that enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in such on spot now. I'm gonna reiterate a lot of it, but so yeah, enjoying it especially. Don't like a lot of people think if you just smile throughout the whole thing, you'll look good. Try to switch it up a little bit. Like there's other forms of happy faces, and then whatever emotion you're doing in the song. So do that. Like it's really creepy to see someone stare at you for like 8 minutes straight, or smile at you for 8 minutes straight. But well, the other thing about messing up on stage is this might freak out some of the newer teams, but like when you mess up, everyone will look at you. Like it's a thing. But if you keep going off of that, like if you play off of that really well and just like go extra hard off of that, we're gonna give you more points for that. We're gonna be like, oh damn, that guy or girl messed up and killed it the rest of it. Like that's a really cool aspect. That's one of the few positives, I guess, of messing up is that you get like a spotlight all of a sudden to show people that I messed up once, but I'm amazing at everything else. So don't freak out, don't stop. And don't do it. Don't do the whole choreo one count late. If you miss a count, skip that count and then come back on. But yeah.
So now we have questions from NSU Musty, I believe. So the first one is that if there were multiple styles of dancing, which section of the grading rubric would that give us points for? Or is that not taken into consideration? Like if a team does tutting or crumping, do they get extra points?
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, like as Sushan said, like you don't have to have like 4 different styles and like not do well in them. So like as long as you have Bollywood and another style and you like kill it, that's what we're looking for. So like if you do more styles, you're not gonna get more points. Like it might hurt you if you like do more styles and you don't execute it well, versus only doing 2 styles and executing it like to the best of your ability. If that makes sense. But you won't like in essence you won't get more points for doing more styles.
And so that would fall under creativity, maybe? For under
Complexity too, maybe.
it's the first section, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess maybe blending and transitions, because transitioning between 2 different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess it would fall mainly under like choreography.
Okay.
So next is how many props do you guys like seeing a team use?
There's not really a number. You use whatever fits your routine. Like if there's one really good prop that flows in your story or your theme, and you guys use it well, and it's obvious to the audience. That's what a lot of teams got to realize is you got to make these props like easy for like anyone to understand what you're trying to do, and especially if you use them in like a dance move, that's awesome because you're incorporating that literally in your routine. You're not just throwing it in there. But there's honestly no set number. You could use whatever number you want to, but as long as you incorporate it well enough, it doesn't really make a difference because to us it's more what Sanjana said before. It's more quality instead of quantity. So you guys can play it off that.
Yeah. There's definitely not a number. It's really just how you use it. If it's just there on like Sushant said, if it's just there on stage, to me at least, it's not like cool unless somehow it's just like a beautiful backdrop or something. But as long as you use it in a cool way, it's you're gonna get good points for it. It's there's no number for it.
The way I see it, this is a dance competition. So I'm gonna look at your dance first. Everything else is secondary to me, whether it's your costumes or your props. You could have no props, and you could still be a really, really great team and put on an awesome performance. So these are just things that enhance, if used correctly, to supplement the theme and maybe a style that you guys are trying to portray. So I wouldn't get too caught up on numbers there.
Okay. So now we have Shara, and their question is, what are your views on lip syncing? Would you rather everyone be doing it or no one? And how much do you think it affects the overall performance? Sanjana, this time?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think uniformity is key, so I don't really want to see like one person or two people lip syncing and then like no one else is, because that just looks kind of strange. I think there are certain styles that it'd be better suited for. I don't really know how many people want to lip sync classical. That's hard. And also, I was on an all-female team, so we didn't really lip sync the male songs. And that's not to say that we always lip sync female songs, but I think things like that you just want to take into consideration, like what's natural, what would you expect to see in a performance, and like what is really going to be odd. I think it depends, but again, uniformity is key. I think Bollywood is a nice one, so if you want to lip sync to that, because I think it just adds like to the fun of the performance, and it like brings out your energy and your enthusiasm. So.
Yeah, like Bollywood is probably the best. Is probably the best one to lip sync to, just because it's so energetic and like vibrant, and the audience feeds off your energy when you lip sync to Bollywood. Like Bhangra, classical, it's pretty hard, and not everyone knows all the words, so like you don't want to be saying something that doesn't fit the music. But I'm a huge fan of lip syncing, especially in Bollywood. I think like that's what like makes us excited when we see you guys like super excited. Lip syncing definitely adds to that a lot.
Yeah, me personally, I would agree. Bollywood probably be the best place to do lip syncing. I wouldn't dock you points if you didn't lip sync. And if you did, like if it enhances it, yeah, it's gonna look really good. I'm trying to think like of any situation where only one person would look good, and maybe like a really slow, sad ballad or something. But honestly, it would if you guys can execute it well, like have your captains watch you guys while you're doing it or whatever. If you can execute it well, go for it. If not, like if you don't want to lip sync at all, I'm not gonna dock you for that. If you do, like make sure it's something entertaining, like Sean said. Like it should be something like to get the crowd hyped, or something I guess really sad and slow if it works. Yeah, sorry, that's a hard question.
Yeah,
It's
and if
gonna
you're
be
gonna lip
scary.
sync, like,
Okay. So now we have questions from Yukon Surya.
What was it? Shara, the second question?
No, they only had one. Shara only had one question. So Yukon Surya's first question is, as former dance team members and captains, what do you find was the most important to do or include when putting together your ideal set?
mm, um,
You want to take it?
yeah, most important you said.
Yeah, the most important thing to do or and include when putting together your ideal set.
That's a tough question.
That question is so dependent on so many things. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, when I was involved, like I would always start. I always started like outside and looked in. Like I always would like songs to flow together. I mean, this is pretty much just like team specific. But what I did was I would always pick the songs, then pick a theme that the songs could fit in, and then try to pick like stuff, like try to just brainstorm just ideas and then fill in the choreo later. Like I liked, I mean, how I did it, how um, and how like when I was dancing, how judges would tell me is that like I always wanted to have like something unique in each song. Like I tried to at least. It's harder, it's easier said than done, but like whether it's a stunt or just something that stands out, because otherwise you're just gonna have a huge lull in the middle of your performance. Because obviously there's gonna be a happy ending and there's probably gonna be some sort of cool intro. So I always like to have something cool in like each song or segment that stood out, so that the audience kept it.
Yeah, I agree a lot with him. It would for me it would be I used to or still kind of it's like I would choose like songs more than like specific songs, just types of songs that I think like I want to do this cool thing, like he said, uh, however many I could think of, and then find songs that fit that, and then build choreo around that. So I mean, it's like we're each gonna have different answers because this is very specific to how your team works, what your team's good at. Like if your team is very good at certain moves, then you're gonna want to showcase that. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's another hard question. It's just focus on whatever you're good at and make sure you showcase that, and then also incorporate things around that to I guess build it up. And I don't know. Yeah, sorry, it's a hard question.
Yeah, I think overall, kind of getting at is compositions will vary from team to team. How you start and put together your routine. Um, One of the things that I know I never really like seeing is like transitions that seem to be just stuck in there, kind of like after the fact. So, and what I would tell my team is that transitions are not like they're part of the piece, right? So it might be like the end of a song, but it should never be like, okay, this song and then there's a transition and then this song, right? It should all kind of seem seamless. So I recommend when you're doing, maybe when you're formulating routine, consider your transitions as you're considering the choreo for each piece or like a style. Obviously, at this point, it might be kind of hard to do for you guys, but if there's a way that you can ensure that your routine is really seamless, that's, I think, really key because you want it to flow, right? It shouldn't be like disjointed. The other thing is if you have like a show-stopping moment, right? Like we kind of talked about this a little bit with X Factor, but something that will get like the audience just like insanely hype. So I brought up the example with Is It. One of like the climax in one of the routines that I was a part of was just Bungra, and there's like a big drop, and everyone kind of went wild. So if you have something that is going to get people excited, that's just something to look forward to every time you perform your routine.
And then our last question is, how do you compare a co-ed team versus an all-female or all-male team? Specifically things like partner interaction, which an all-female male team may not have too much of, or the dynamic between a male and female in the storyline.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like obviously there's gonna be minimal part interaction, but it's kind of just like a female team plays their strength and an all male team plays their strengths. Like all male team will have obviously energy, excitement, like athleticism that they bring. Female team has something different. Female team always is going to be like a lot cleaner. They're always going to be synchronized. They always have like really unique and challenging ideas. There's always like a you start to play your thing. There's always going to be like last year, like a lot of all girls teams used "Lovely" and like it was a really sexy song, and a lot of girls teams like played to that, So you just have to play. If it doesn't matter what type of team you have, as long as you play your strengths, then and you guys show and you kill it, like that's all that matters. There's really no like comparing different aspects like that, like partner action.
I'm just gonna look at the question a little bit more.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I was just gonna say mostly I agree a lot. Like essentially what he said was exactly what I was gonna say. Like each type of team has some strengths. It sounds sexist or whatever, but like guys are usually gonna have like the big drop crap or whatever. Girls, when they do that though, when all girls teams do that, it's super cool. So like a lot of times, what I was gonna say is a lot of times if you take what the stereotype is of another type of team and somehow play it into your thing, that's one of those things that would catch me off guard and would be like, that's really cool. Who was gonna say? Oh, like co-ed teams, like you guys have the advantage of like you can do both essentially every stereotype together, mixed together, and then also have the dynamics between the two. But yeah, like if you take what's expected of another team and do it with yourself, that's something that would I would really like a lot.
Honestly, you guys do you. If you're a girls' team, you can be graceful, you can be sexy. If you're a guys' team, you can be strong, you can be emotional. I think I don't really, I don't want to look at a team and be like, oh, this is a girls' team, or this is like a guys' team, or this is co-ed. I look at it, I'm like, this is a dance team, right? So, and in terms of like interaction, so a lot of times, like depending on, because if you're a co-ed team and you have a romantic song, like a Bollywood song, like I kind of want to see partners interact and be romantic. For a female team in classical, sometimes you'll have like partner work. If you see like people look at each other and they smile and like the way that you would interact if you were doing a very traditional classical song, like there's ways to bring that out. I'm going to bring this up again because this is probably one of my favorite routines, and it has so many good elements. Is that there is a point where the two guys at the very end of the routine, it's like their last song, and you see them just like go over and look at each other, and they like smile, and then they like cock their heads, and then they break out into the choreo. Like that to me was so memorable, and it's just interaction between the dancers. So it doesn't matter whether you're male, female, or what kind of a team that you're on. You guys you're a team, right? So you're not up there by yourself. You want to interact with your team and look like a unit and be cohesive. So you do you. Is that it? That's it?
We actually have one more question, two questions from Nova and Nasa that they emailed us. So.
Okay, so Nasa's first question is, will there be scoring on transitions? Like, would dancing while exiting versus back bends make a difference?
Wait, sorry, that cut out for me. I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will there be strict scoring on transitions? Would dancing while exiting versus back bends make a difference?
I mean, if you personally, if you bend over and do like the little like ninja run out, it's fine if you do it once. It's fine if you do it here and there, but if you do it like for every transition, then it's kind of like, I mean, especially since there's a category for it, it's like you just chose not to. When you had an opportunity to like showcase something cool there, even though it's like something little, like the little things is like what add up to set you apart. So I think it's fine if you do it here and there, if you're trying to quickly get off stage. But if you do it constantly throughout your entire routine, like it's a little bit of a problem. Like just extend the last move off stage, or just make it a moving move. Like you can avoid that problem and you won't lose points in transitions.
I would include the back bend thing into like what's like, it's not there's nothing unexpected about it. Like there's nothing, I don't really find it cool or anything. And like Shazana said, it's like it's pretty simple. Just like add like 2 extra counts on it, just like some simple moving move, and even like a very basic simple moving move, to me would look better than the back bend. But at the same time, if you do it like just a little bit because you just had to get to a certain place, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I would definitely stand out more to me if you replaced it with something like some simple moving move.
Yeah, I think this goes back to what I said about having a seamless routine. So to me, it's kind of like visually disruptive, especially if it occurs again and again. So whatever you can do to make it flow, I would do that.
And your last question for the night would be, are costume changes a part of the X factor / creativity?
Well, costumes is its own category on this rubric, isn't that correct?
Yeah, it is.
Right. So when it comes to creativity and stuff, I think that's directly under choreography. So I think that's how we're going to look at it.
Yeah, I agree. It's its own category, so I mean, and plus it's only 5 points, so it's not in the grand scheme of things. Like I wouldn't focus too much energy on it, but yeah, like if you have cool costumes, and it adds to your routine, like it's something that will carry over to like X Factor too, because that's something we remember, So yeah, so yeah, no, it wouldn't be in choreography. It would either be in costumes or it can add to your X factor / uniqueness.
Yeah, same. If it's like basic costume change, it's gonna stay in costumes. If it's like something amazing that you did out of nowhere with the costumes, then yeah, we'll add it to X Factor. But yeah, it's not gonna be put in choreography.
Okay. So that ends all of the questions. So just one more thing. For the judges, Adit, Sanjana, Sushant, is there anything that you would like to address to the teams? Just anything regarding formations or choreography or just anything overall?
I mean, the cliche thing, like have fun. Like it's actually going to be super fun. If you're not gonna, if you two things, if you don't have fun, you're gonna have a bad night, and your performance will look bad, regardless of how good it is. It's going to look bad if you're not like enjoying it. So I know everyone's gonna say, like everyone says that, but like it's true. So stick to it, especially the new teams.
Yeah. Plus, it's the first competition of the season, so don't like whatever happens happens. Like if you win, cool, but like other teams are still going to be getting better, so you still have to get better. But if you don't place where you want to place, you're still going to have to get better. So it doesn't like it's so minuscule in the grand scheme of things because it's literally like the first competition. You know what I mean? So it's like take it with a grain of salt, like what happens. But I mean, yeah, be excited. Like it'll be a really fun weekend. I know I'm really excited. The board has done a great job. The other judges are really excited. So just you guys have 1 week left, so don't try to do anything like crazy this last week and add something, but like huge. But just yeah, just have fun. Stick to your style. You guys will be fine. You guys are all great teams, and yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm super excited based on the questions that have been asked because I'm used to answering a lot of the same questions again and again. So this was really nice. Um, I would say focus on putting your best performance out there. And this is what I would tell my team, like when I dance and when I would help them critique them, just focus on giving it your 100%, because those are the performances that I remember when I've performed. It's like, I really did my best out there and like, I don't care what happened. And make me smile. If you make me smile and gasp and like want to jump out of my seat, that'll be great. I would love that.
Okay, so this concludes the judges captain meeting. Thank you all for coming, and we apologize for the technical difficulties in the beginning, but thank you all for pushing through. Okay, well, have a good night, everyone.
Real quick.
Oh,
See you guys soon.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Wait, didn't she have something to say?
oh,
It's okay. You guys can leave if you're busy. I was just wondering, is this recorded?
yes, it will be recorded and it will be shared with everyone so all teams can see all judges' answers to all the questions.
Sorry.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yep. See you
Okay,
guys.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.